course, is third and fourth of Waldron and Patton, as I'm now seeing the second group coming down through turn number 11 right now. Brian?
Yeah, a little bit further back than I think that they anticipated they were going to be as they're coming down through there. We'll get back to our lead pack here momentarily, but this is going to be our Spec Boxster and a little bit further back in these groups. But again, this is going to be our SP1s, SP boxes as we get the green flag now is waving in the air. And again, that is going to be the 029 there. Robbie Wilson, Noah Mazzola, and then Hunt McMahon. They're going to head down into turn one. And it does look like Mazzola's going to be the odd man out. He's going to drop to the inside. Not going to be able to make that stick. Lawson Wilder in that 16, and Alex Howe is going to try to stick their nose in there in that Spec Boxster, try to come out of turn number one up into turn two. Again, Robbie Wilson with a great start in that 029.
Looks like for a moment there, it looked like we were going to go 3 wide in the S's at the back of the Spec Boxster group. Looks like everybody got themselves straightened out though, but that did cost the momentum of at least 2 cars. Because when you get wide in the S's, it's not exactly a friendly spot to be in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's definitely not a spot you want to be as they start to head up through the bus stop and down through turn number 6, down into the toe there. Again, Robbie Wilson leading that group right now as our overall leaders now come back by the start-finish line. Donald Anger in that number 50 machine is leading Gershon in that 087 right now. Again, Donald Anger in that 911 Cup class, and then Michael Gershon is in second. Got a little bit of a gap there, about another second, just about a second back to Lee Lassberg in that 201 machine. Again, that's for third overall, and then second in that 911 Cup car. Greg Rochick in that 320 machine, and then Will Waldron. That's going to be your top 5 overall. That's a battle for SP3 between Rochick and Waldron there, Joshua. We've got to keep an eye on that. Those two drivers were split out pretty much by a great deal earlier this morning in that race. I think now that we've got some really good times this morning, because not only did they qualify, but they had a fast lap in the race. That kind of moved them up a little bit further.
Yeah, most definitely. As looks like saw a great battle for the lead there coming into the laces. Still Anger with Gershon right all over the back of him there. I'll bet you tried to make a move, maybe going into the toe. No, doesn't look like he's going to try it this time by. We'll see at the heel there what they decide to do. But as you were saying, there are great battles throughout this pack.
Yeah, that's a battle not in class. That's just a battle overall. I mean, Donald Anger's got a, if it came down to it and he got a lot of pressure from Michael Gershon, he would let Michael Gershon go because he's got to sit there and try to hold off, so that Lee Lassberg doesn't get the momentum while trying to battle there. Again, this is for the 911 Cup. He's got about a second lead over Lee Lassberg in the 201, then another second and a half to Eugene Pasha in that 23, and then you got to go another 2 seconds back to Alex Farragut in that green 911 Cup car. We're going to pick up Alex here in a little bit, but I want to pick up and talk about that Spec Boxster battle as they went down the last time by across the start finish line. Robbie Wilson holding off North Mazzola. He's opened that up by about 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, we're still seeing great battles here. Sounds like somebody is pulled off down by 8, just off in the grass. Safe where he sits right now. As I thought we saw Alex Farragut coming through a screen there for a brief second, and indeed, as we can see now at stage 8, they have a car that's decided, I'd rather be scenery today.
And that's actually not a very good spot, Joshua, because you've got on the exit there, Spec Box is now coming through turn 8 now, and then a whole host of them, where you see the waving yellow right there, or the standing yellow at this point. That car, again, on exit, is not in a very good safe position if they're going to leave that car there, or if that car can get restarted again.
And the corner worker is definitely saying that is not a parking zone.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling we might be seeing that our favorite color, yellow.
Well, I'm not sure if that's a favorite color. Definitely not a favorite color of some of these other drivers. And again, unless that car can get moved, that's going to be tough. Here comes our Spec Boxster now, coming by the start-finish line, headed down into turn 1. Again, Robbie Wilson leading Noah Mazzola, Hunt McMahon, Lawson Wilder in 4th, and then Alex Al in that 79. That's your top 5. And Josh, we are going to go through a full course caution here right now. So again, this track, this group, I should say, is just snake bit by having this type of racing where you get 1 or 2 laps and then we go back to a full course caution. I don't think this will be on this full course caution will be very long. I think they'll be able to move that car relatively quickly.
Yeah, it sounds like he actually got moving again and then decided to park in Delta. But you know what? Going back to our overall battle, Benninger in the 911 Cup, followed by Gershon. Well, now Lee Lasberg has a chance to tighten right back up. And who knows, he might try and make a move on Gershon. And who knows, even get to Anger.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know if the safety car picked everybody up. I see them starting to slow down there a little bit further back. So it does look like the safety car did get out in front of Donald Anger and Gershon. So again, as that car started to move, again, they'll pick that car up. I'd venture to say that they will bring this around and then we will go right back to racing. I don't think it'll be. So again, this is where the second half of our group, the Spec Boxster group, they're going to have to get through everything and try to get picked up, because they're actually still coming down through out of turn number 9 now and heading up into turn number 10. So a long way to go to catch this field. It could be that they are on the end. There goes Robbie Wilson now. But you're right. Again, what that does now is that brings Lee Lasberg in the 911 Cup. It also brings, other drivers there in between, right up on the back bumper of some of these different classes. Greg Rochick in the number 320 for SP3 along with Will Waldron. That brings them nose to tail, as I believe that gap was about 2.5 seconds.
And it sounds like we're going to be going green this time by as the 3 was self-cleaning there. So this is going to be an interesting restart, wouldn't you say, Brian?
Well, I think the interesting part of it is we still got some of our back half of our Spec Boxster just now going down into turn 1, where we have our field and a safety car, I believe, up there getting ready to go down into the boot, or maybe coming up towards the middle of the boot. Yeah, so they're going down into the laces, going down into the boot. What's going to end up happening is as that happens, these drivers are going to be coming up in force, in speed, catching up. And so what's going to end up happening is you're going to have certain drivers aren't going to be able to see it, because by the time the green flag comes out, a lot of these drivers are still going to be back in turn 8 and turn 9. They're not actually going to see the waving, and they're going to get a call. They're going to see that everybody drops their flag, and they're going to be racing, and some people are going to miss it.
Yeah, and then, traffic again with the overall leaders, because it might not take them too long to get back up to the back of the pack, which is the Spec Boxsters, as we see the field, the overall leader and pace car coming up out of the boot now. And there we go.
Yeah, we should be seeing the lights go out. Again, Donald Anger will be leading this whole field. But again, as I talked about, Josh, half this group, again, when we get back a little bit further back, they're not going to see it. So you got to have to figure out when to go, when not to go. That's going to be up to that driver to be able to look at those flag stations and understand, as our safety car looks like they're picking up speed. So it looks like they're going to come in. So with just under 19.5 minutes left to go, we should be seeing Donald Anger. The green flag is out. Donald Anger over Michael Gershon. Anger got a great start. That car that did not get a good start. Actually, there's several of them up there, up front. Greg Roaching, Will Waldron, Eugene Basha, Ken Agnon just didn't go when they thought. What that's allowed to do, along with Alex Farragut, what that's allowed to do is let Doug Crossman in that 921, in that gray one, get by Alex Farragut for position on the racetrack. Now she's under heavy fire from Gary Stanberry in that 968 machine.
Yeah, and keep your eyes. She is in that 911 that is green and black, and she has company all over her back door there. That's that Gulf livery number 968, I think.
Yeah.
There, and they are definitely battling hard going into the inner loop side by side. Alex manages to hold him off that time. Let's see if she can handle him going through the outer loop now. We'll see when the... Okay, going through the carousel. She is still ahead and has actually gained some ground on that battle. So now she just needs to set sail for the car right in front of her, which is the... Second here. It would be Jordan Simon in the Class G Boxster S. We see him coming through the screen right now. Appears to be, yes, that's our overall leaders there. And Eininger has definitely gone off like a shot after you were saying, Brian. But then again, Gershon as well has gotten a good restart and has managed to put at least 2 car lengths between him and the Lee Lasberg machine.
Yeah, and it looks like the in-car camera that we were going to go to with Alex Farragut, it looks like that has dropped the signal, so we don't have that in-car camera, because that would have been a great battle to watch on that restart, along with, that she had, and then the battle with Gary Stanberry as that continues on. As our leaders now completing lap 5, Donald Anger in that 911 Cup car, leading overall over Michael Gershon and Josh. This is where they're starting to get a little bit faster. Lee Lasberg is about 1.2 seconds back from Donald Anger, so he is starting to make some moves. That lap there was a little bit further back than I think Lee wanted to, but I think Lee had to really work on holding off Greg Rudnick in that 320 again for the battle on the class. We go a little bit further back, and we talked about this. I'm going to try to pick it up. We'll stay on here with Eugene Basha kind of holding off Ken Agnon in the rest of that group there. With Jordan Simon in the 54, Ken Agnon in the 75, Eugene Basha in the Pink Pig. That a very famous livery right there with the Pink Pig. Holding off that group, and then a little bit further back, you've got John Patton in that number 2, in that 921 of Doug Crossman as well. But when we look back here at the Spec Boxsters, I was looking at Robbie Wilson again. Robbie's starting to really open that gap up in that class over Hunt McMahon now. Lawson Wilder moving up into the top 3. Sean O'Brien moving up to 4th. The driver that fell off a little bit, I think that was because of the restart. Again, that was clash with what I talked about, not being able to know when the green flag was coming out. Some others did. Was Noah Mazzola, who dropped all the way back to 5th, who was up in that 2nd position in Spec Boxster.
Yeah, we're seeing the Eugene Basha battle there with the Pink Pig, with the number 5 Roston's livery 968, I believe, right behind him. Getting closer every turn, it appears. And then you have a Spec, what looks like a Boxster and another classic 911 behind that. So that, after Basha, so that would be the SP3 yellow 968. So right there at the tail end of the shot there. And then there's Alex Farragut once again holding off. Well, not anymore. Looks like she has been passed by Gary Stanberry there in the 968 as goes down the front straightaway.
Yeah, that car there trying to go and drop off a little bit here as the race goes on in order for it. So, again, that car starting to starting to drop off a little bit for her. I think that they may have some type of a little bit of an issue because that car definitely has a little bit of speed into it in order for that to happen. So tell you what, if we can, Zach, I know we're looking at it again. I'd like to thank USRC for presenting this race right here. I want to drop a little bit further back in our Spec Boxster, and I think most of them are probably coming through turns 1 and 2 or right up through the S's right into here. I want to try to pick up the white number 16 with the Red Bull livery of Lawson Wilder and the number 16, and then the 5 of Noah Mazzola. Last time by, that was within a tenth of each other. And then a little bit further back, you had the green or the black 441 of Sean O'Brien. I believe they're mixed in here in this shot there, but Lawson Wilder went 2:15.708, and then Noah Mazzola went almost a full second and a half faster than Noah, or than Lawson Wilder last time by. And we've got the 707 here that has definitely come up. Yeah, there they are right there, headed down through there. So we'll pick them up. We've got the 707 of Daniel Judge on pit lane here. Got some rear bumper damage, so got a lot of oggy-boggy going on down in there with this Spec boxing class. As Donald Anger now leading that 911 battle, goes 5-step finish line down into turn number 1. Let's stay on with this Lawson Wilder deal because I think that's starting to get a little bit more contentious in between there because they are really starting to battle through this whole entire set line of traffic right here. They're involved in it. We got one car going to go really far, driver's right around the outside, almost taking that position. That was almost a 3-for-1 pass right there, and that may have been Noah Mazzola. We'll have to see when they come up through here, and indeed it was Noah Mazzola making the move, taking it all the way up around into to take that all the way up into second place again. And the driver that's kind of fallen down a little bit. I'm not sure if he went off. Did I miss him on the camera? Or do we have some type of an issue there? But it looks like Lawson Wilder, who was up in the second and third position in Spec Boxster, has now dropped all the way back to 11 in Spec Boxster. So, again, not sure where Lawson Wilder went and how that happened, but what a fantastic move from Noah Mazzola to really go down from being in 5th and 6th place there, Josh, all the way up into 2nd overall in Spec Boxster.
Yeah, and that battle is not done yet, and it's a 3-car train, but the gray with the green highlights there, taking another look in the carousel. Let's see if actually managed to get past it. Does not look so. As they come now through the laces, looks like the blue and other blue got a little wide there in the laces, costing him just a little bit of momentum there. And it looks like we have a 968 off into the other gravel track.
Yeah, again, another spot. Looks like he's going to try to be able to move. I think the cleanest we had in that last day or two. He should be able to drive straight or back completely. I think it looks like he's trying to go back out of it, but then again, with all of the rain that we had, that may just sink, and if that does, that's going to be difficult. We're not going to be able to leave him there.
Yeah, and it sounds like he has a flat tire as well, so that's going to clearly impede his momentum.
Yeah.
And it's one of the drive wheels, too, so of course.
Tell you what, we've got about 10 minutes left to go in this race. Let me make a first call to the grid for our next group. Attention in the paddock, attention in the paddock. First call, yellow group. First call, yellow group to the grid for your sprint race number 2. First call to the grid for yellow group for your sprint race number 2. So again, still got that 968 there. And again, I'm looking through timing and scoring, and I'm not seeing, and I'm wondering if he may have some type of a transponder issue, through here with the 78 machine in the blue. Yeah, that is, I believe that is Gene Raimondi in there. We'll have to see where he is showing up in here. I know he's an ME1. He's not actually in the Spec Boxster, so there he is. So he's kind of mixing right in there with the Spec Boxster's kind of field between Hunt McMahon and Sean O'Brien in there. And he's trying to hold off. Yeah, so there is Gene Raimondi. You've got O'Brien, I believe, is right behind him. And then you've got Christopher Fay in that 353 machine. So Raimondi trying to hold off the 353 machine in the ME1 class, you know, there. And then you've got Alex Al in that 79 machine coming back up through there as well. So again, a lot of different battles amongst the classes, and you're trying to you're not trying to impede another group, but you're trying to hold off your competitor who's actually coming through that entire group.
Yeah, and you know, that's part of running in traffic, and it looks like that the 968, well, he's just turned into scenery now.
Yeah, and having that flat tire, maybe they think it is safe enough to leave him there for the remainder of this, because it does look like he is backed off a little bit. That's still a tough spot to be sitting there as he's looking out that driver's side window, watching the cars come by you and come right out there.
Yeah, indeed. You see, once again, that battle with O'Brien and Raimondi coming up. How am I seeing? 4 wide? No, 3 wide. Or no, that was 9-4 there. Making things look a little tighter than they were. But that has certainly put the cat amongst the pigeons there, as Raimondi is being swallowed up right now. Going down into turn 1, he loses maybe 1, looks like maybe 2 positions in that blue and blue Boxster there.
Well, I tell you what, while he is being swallowed up by some of those other drivers in those different classes, he is really trying to hold on to Christopher Fay for that win in that ME1, because there's 0.3 of a second, and he was part of that gaggle right there. So there's Raimondi, the blue car. The lighter gray car is that 353 machine coming up through there. He just now got through some of those other Spec Boxsters. So there you see. So you see the blue car getting ready to come out now. That's Gene Raimondi. The next car behind him, I believe, is the Christopher Fay in that 353. So again, that is something that's going to have to work itself out as they go through, as we go back and we look at our overall leaders here coming through Donald Anger, and then we are getting the checkered flag. I think we're getting the checkered flag just due to the fact that that car is over there in that gravel. They need to get it out. Didn't think there was going to be enough time. So pretty quick checkered flag there that I didn't think that we were going to see. So
it actually was not for the 968, not the number, but the type of car.
Correct.
Somebody at 9 sounds like they just glanced off Champion's wall there and put the belt down.
Okay. So again, we'll let some of these cars come by there. There goes the 029 machine. That is going to be Robbie Wilson. He is definitely going to pick up the win in our Spec Boxster. We're waiting for Noah Mazzola and that group to come by. I think we're going to see a pretty good battle here a little bit further back in that battle. Hunt McMahon, Sean O'Brien trying to reel in. There they go there. There goes Hunt McMahon and Sean O'Brien. So that's going to be 3rd and 4th in Spec Boxster. So I tell you what, Josh, why don't we do this? Why don't we go